Hey Cowboys Nation, we're gearing up for an intriguing matchup this week as the Dallas Cowboys prepare to face off against the New York Giants. And there's a lot to unpack before kickoff. Heading into Week 18, both teams are dealing with their own set of challenges, and fans should expect a game that will reveal a lot about roster decisions, player health, and who might get some critical opportunities before the season wraps up. For the Cowboys, the big question revolves around Dak Prescott and how much playing time he will see. Jerry Jones has confirmed that Prescott will start, but how long he stays on the field is still under speculation. Will it be a drive, a quarter, or perhaps half of the game? Strategically, it seems likely that the coaching staff is considering resting some of the starters to avoid unnecessary risks, especially with playoff positioning out of reach and injuries lingering across the roster. Speaking of injuries, the Cowboys are navigating several key concerns heading into this game. Javonte is dealing with a shoulder issue that could limit his availability. Malik Davis recently sustained an eye injury, adding another layer of uncertainty to the backfield rotation. Carson's hamstring has been bothering him, and Ryan Fennoy's knee issues caused him to miss action previously. Overshawn has been dealing with a concussion, and while reports suggest he may be cleared, caution is the name of the game. Savone Revel remains in concussion protocol, while Jake Ferguson tweaked his calf against the Commanders. Trayvon Diggs will not be available, and other players like P.T. Turner and Phil Maffa are eligible to return. But even with the extra recovery time, it is expected that the injury report will be extensive and will require careful management to prevent further complications. The team is likely to approach this game with a conservative mindset, focusing on minimizing the risk to key contributors while also providing meaningful snaps to younger players who need experience and evaluation time. On the Giants' side, there are also questions about their quarterback situation. Jackson Dart is set to start, which could lead to an interesting dynamic, as he has shown flashes of potential but also inconsistency throughout the season. If Dart performs well, it might be a memorable highlight for the young signal caller and could have implications for the team's planning in the upcoming offseason. For the Cowboys, managing the game flow while keeping their defense engaged is crucial. The team has struggled at times with second-half adjustments, and this matchup provides an opportunity to test depth players without risking the health of veterans who have carried the team through a challenging campaign. It will be interesting to see how the coaching staff balances competitiveness with prudence, especially considering that the Giants are fighting for a higher draft pick and will be motivated to showcase their talent, potentially putting additional pressure on the Cowboys' defense. Injuries aside, Week 18 presents a chance for younger Cowboys to step into the spotlight. Players who may not have seen significant playing time during the regular season could have the opportunity to prove themselves in meaningful game situations. The backfield rotation, tight end roles, and defensive snaps all offer openings for emerging talent. Jaden Blue, for instance, might see increased touches, giving him a chance to display his skills beyond limited opportunities. Similarly, Jonathan Mingo and other developmental players could gain valuable on-field experience. The coaching staff may also consider experimenting with positions and rotations, providing a glimpse at potential roster moves for the following season. With certain starters potentially resting, the game becomes an ideal environment for evaluating young players while maintaining a focus on health and minimizing unnecessary exposure to injury risks. Health remains a top priority for both teams. Football is inherently physical, and every snap carries the risk of injury. The Cowboys must carefully navigate their roster, ensuring that critical contributors are not placed in situations where a minor injury could derail preparation for the next season. Managing load, monitoring recovery, and making strategic decisions about who plays and for how long will be central to the coaching staff's approach. At the same time, this provides an opportunity to integrate emerging talent into game action, which could be pivotal for building depth and evaluating potential roster decisions in the offseason. While fans naturally want to see a competitive and entertaining matchup, the overarching priority is to finish the season healthy and set the stage for the team's future. As for scoring expectations, there's a delicate balance to strike. The Cowboys have the capability to put up significant points, especially if they play their starters extensively, but recent performances have shown that second-half execution can fluctuate. The Giants' defense, while inconsistent, could create scenarios where young players are tested and have the chance to shine. Whether Dak Prescott sees limited time or Joe Milton steps in for meaningful drives, the game provides opportunities for both teams to explore depth and evaluate personnel. Fans can anticipate seeing the Cowboys' younger skill players, including potential contributors from injured reserve or practice squad elevations, step into prominent roles, giving the coaching staff a clearer picture of who can be counted on moving forward. Every snap will matter, not just for immediate results, but also for the evaluation of talent and roster strategy for the next campaign. Defensively, the Cowboys are in an interesting position. The performance of the unit has been inconsistent, and there is a mixture of frustration and opportunity in play. The Giants' quarterback, Jackson Dart, has shown both promise and vulnerability this season, and this matchup could highlight the strengths or weaknesses of the Cowboys' secondary and pass rush. Allowing young players to gain experience in coverage or rush situations can be instrumental in building confidence and evaluating future contributors. At the same time, managing risk is critical, as injuries to key defenders could have long-term implications. The team's approach may include limiting snaps for certain starters while testing emerging players in live-game conditions, offering a unique combination of development and competitive challenge. Draft implications also linger in the background of Week 18. While the Cowboys cannot achieve a top 10 pick, their positioning will depend on outcomes across multiple other games. This introduces a strategic layer, where results might influence the order in which the team selects in the upcoming draft. Simultaneously, the Giants' performance could affect their own draft positioning, creating a subtle but meaningful subplot as the game unfolds. Fans can expect a matchup that is not just about immediate results, but also about shaping opportunities for both teams as they look ahead to next season. The interplay between competitive play, player development, and draft strategy adds layers of intrigue that make this game worth watching for multiple reasons. From a fan perspective, the Week 18 matchup is a mix of excitement, curiosity, and careful observation. Observing how the Cowboys handle their starters, how young players respond when given an increased workload, and how the defense manages a quarterback like Jackson Dart provides insight into both team culture and coaching philosophy. This game offers a unique lens into the decision-making process, balancing the desire to win with the necessity of protecting players and evaluating talent for the future. For supporters of America's team, it is not just about the scoreboard, but about witnessing the strategies, adjustments, and player development that will influence the team long after the final whistle. Continuing from the first half, one of the biggest storylines this week is how the Cowboys choose to manage their playing time against the Giants, and it is going to be fascinating to watch. With Dak Prescott confirmed as the starter but likely to see limited action, the spotlight naturally shifts to the backups and young talent. Joe Milton, for example, could see meaningful snaps that might define his trajectory for the next season. Fans will be watching closely to see if he can rebound from earlier struggles and demonstrate composure, accuracy, and the ability to execute under pressure. This is exactly the type of scenario where a young quarterback can either make a memorable statement or reinforce areas for growth, and the coaching staff's approach will be critical in managing both expectation and opportunity. Meanwhile, the health of key contributors continues to dominate conversation. Javonte's shoulder remains a concern, and if he is sidelined or limited, it will create a ripple effect throughout the offense. Malik Davis's eye injury, Carson's hamstring, and other lingering ailments all factor into how the Cowboys deploy personnel. The overarching philosophy seems to lean toward caution. After a long season, the risk of aggravating injuries is high, and with playoff contention off the table, preserving talent for the future makes sense. At the same time, this provides an opening to test younger players in scenarios that carry game consequences. Whether it is snaps at running back, extended time for receivers who have been on the periphery, or giving tight ends more involvement in offensive sets, Week 18 offers a developmental sandbox while still maintaining competitive stakes. Defensively, the Cowboys are in a peculiar position. The unit has faced criticism all year, and the matchup against Jackson Dart presents both a challenge and an opportunity. Dart has shown flashes of capability, but also vulnerability, and seeing how the Cowboys' secondary and pass rush respond will be telling. This game allows the coaching staff to experiment with alignments, rotations, and defensive schemes, particularly for young players who might be stepping into roles previously reserved for veterans. The aim is to balance exposure with opportunity, giving rookies and backups meaningful experience without placing them in situations that could lead to injury or demoralizing defeats. Observing how the defense adjusts to Dart's tendencies, as well as the Giants' supporting cast, will offer insights into how the Cowboys might approach personnel decisions for the next season. Another compelling element of Week 18 is the opportunity for the Cowboys to provide meaningful reps to players who have been on the fringe of the roster. Jaden Blue, for instance, could see a significant increase in touches, giving him a chance to showcase speed, vision, and playmaking ability. Jonathan Mingo may receive more snaps in the receiving rotation, while other young players across the offensive and defensive units could get the opportunity to demonstrate readiness for a larger role next year. This approach not only allows coaches to evaluate talent in game conditions, but also gives players confidence and exposure that cannot be replicated in practice. Week 18 effectively becomes a laboratory for experimentation, balancing development with the integrity of competitive football. The draft angle adds another layer of intrigue. The Cowboys' positioning is dependent on the outcomes of other games around the league, making the scenario unpredictable but highly relevant for fans who follow draft strategy closely. While a top 10 pick is out of reach, there is still movement within the mid-range selections that could impact how the Cowboys approach offseason acquisitions. Observing which teams win and lose and how that influences the Cowboys' eventual slot in the draft order provides a secondary narrative that adds stakes to each play and decision. It also creates opportunities for strategic thinking regarding which players to prioritize in scouting and roster development, turning this seemingly inconsequential late-season game into a valuable planning tool. From a gameplay perspective, it is worth noting that the Cowboys' second-half offensive performance has been inconsistent this season. Week 18 could test adjustments, play-calling creativity, and the ability to manage situations with limited starters. If Dak Prescott only plays partial snaps, the coaching staff will need to carefully manage tempo, rotations, and play sequencing to maintain competitive integrity while also protecting their roster. Meanwhile, younger players stepping in may encounter pressure situations, providing invaluable experience that can inform both individual development and team strategy moving forward. The balance between winning and development is delicate, and watching the Cowboys navigate this tension will be as interesting as the outcome itself. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. Rumors are swirling in the NFL universe, and if they hold any weight, Dallas Cowboys fans have a reason to get excited. Sources close to the team suggest that Stephon Gilmore, the seasoned cornerback known for his shutdown capabilities and veteran savvy, could be returning to Dallas to spearhead the Cowboys' defensive unit. The whispers indicate that Gilmore would not just be another addition to the roster, but a central figure, someone the team is counting on to bring leadership, experience, and a new edge to a defense that has shown flashes but has struggled with consistency. Gilmore's potential return comes at a time when the Cowboys are looking to recalibrate defensively. Analysts speculate that his presence could transform the secondary, providing both stability and mentorship to younger players eager to learn from one of the league's most respected corners. While exact terms and official confirmations are absent, the buzz around team meetings and practice observations has only fueled speculation that Gilmore's comeback could be imminent. Fans are already imagining the dynamic he could bring alongside key defensive pieces, from shutting down elite receivers to making pivotal plays in crucial moments. The narrative is compelling. A proven veteran returning to a familiar environment, ready to take the reins and inspire a defense that has shown potential but has often lacked that authoritative voice on the field. With Gilmore's track record, His presence could be exactly what Dallas needs to elevate its defensive identity and compete at the highest level. The rumor also raises questions about the team's strategy and roster moves. Would the Cowboys be willing to adjust their defensive schemes to maximize Gilmore's impact? How will his leadership influence locker room dynamics and the growth of rising stars within the secondary? While nothing is set in stone, the mere suggestion of Gilmore returning has sparked conversation, debate, and anticipation among fans and commentators alike. If the rumor proves true, Dallas might not just be adding a player. They could be reclaiming a leader capable of shaping the identity of their defense. Stephon Gilmore's potential return is more than a transaction. It's a storyline that could define the season. And for Cowboys supporters, the prospect is as tantalizing as it is electrifying. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.